Michael, we'll start with you, please. Sky Sports News.
Thank you, Oliver. Congratulations. Any new injuries from Saturday, and how is the squad?
First of all, thanks. Yes, we will miss Chris Richards tomorrow. Struggles a little bit with his calf, so it doesn't look very serious. So we expect him being available against Brighton at the weekend. But tomorrow is too early, and yeah, we'll use his steel band. But all other players are fit and available.
Great. Can I get your reaction to the FA Cup draw? It's Aston Villa at Wembley.
Yes, I could see it, and then I forgot it because it's not important for tomorrow. And yeah, we can talk about Aston Villa the day before the FA Cup semi-finals. But we don't even know when we will play this game. So today is talking about Southampton and not talking about or thinking about Aston Villa.
It's been a great turnaround from November. Your form has been fantastic. What happened, or was it more about patience with all the changes you had in the summer?
I think so, yes. It was the changes in summer, the tournaments in the summer, our late signings. Then also some injuries at the beginning, yeah, after very short times off, and especially international players struggle a little bit. And yeah, then we had to get each other known again. And then it was, I think, the great working mentality, the attitude of the players. And then, yeah, we always stayed calm, we stayed patient, and said, okay, we have to improve. It's not a lot what we are missing, but there are a few things, and yeah, we just worked on these things, and yeah, we got the reward in the last weeks and months, and it's important now to keep this level, to keep this working intensity, to keep this work rate on our top level.
The success you're having is clearly because of the squad you're working with and the excellent players you've got at the moment. But looking at Adam Wharton on Saturday, I was just thinking, how far can he go in football, and how special can he be, in your opinion?
I think it wasn't his best performance, so I think Adam can play better than he did. But yes, that he has a lot of potential. We could see it last year, but we also can see when you have just very short time to recover, not just physically, also mentally. That then he struggled for 6, 7, 8 months with several injuries, and yeah, when I see all the upcoming, not just the games in the season, there's the under 21. European Championship in summer again. Next year is the World Cup again, and so it's important to keep all our players fit, and especially the young players. They are not used to play on this level, and also not. And again, I don't talk about not just talking about their body. It's also, you know, when you play in January for Blackburn, and then you are watching the finals at the Euros with England. This is a lot that's going on. And this influences your body. We all know that you can't separate your mind from your body, and this is what we all have to consider. But yeah, he has a lot of potential, definitely.
A big transfer fee is never the fault of the player. But looking at Nketiah and the relief and the joy he had scoring that goal, how important do you think a goal in such a big game can be for him from now to the rest of the season?
Not just the last game. So I think in our last 4 games he scored 3 goals, and yeah, that's. We talked about it when we arrived about JP, yeah, and it's confidence, and the most important thing for a striker is being confident that you can score goals, because I think Eddie had his chances, but he missed a few. But now, yeah, he looks to get more confidence, and that's very important for us, that we don't rely on 1 or 2 players who can score goals. And when we see the 3 goals from Fulham, it's all, that's a way played with 4 very attacking players. Mateusz Franca just got a few minutes, but the other 4, and 3 of them scored, and that's always good that these players get into the situations for scoring goals. And yeah, we need every single player until the end of the season.
What is the target in the Premier League? Obviously, you're doing fantastic in the FA Cup. It's very tight in the Premier League. Have you set yourselves a lowest position possible or highest position possible?
If we would set the highest position, it would be stupid. But it's easy. We have 10 games to play. That means the goal is getting 30 points. But we don't talk about 10 games. We're just focused on Southampton. Yeah, we know how they play. We know what we have to expect. Yeah, a lot of duels, very aggressive side, and also some players like Onuachu, very tall, very physical, with Sulemana, very quick, with Dibling, one of the players who is hyped in England in this season. So many very good players, and again, it just makes no sense thinking about the table position. And it's always important to think what we can improve, what we have to work on, what we have to show in every single game. And that's a challenge for us to have this mentality and this switch from the cup game at Fulham to Southampton tomorrow.
Jean-Philippe Mateta, you described it Friday as a water polo mask. How did it feel for him after such a big game?
Do you agree that it looks like a water polo? I don't have any.
At the moment.
No, it was fine. I think also we could see that he didn't have a game for 4 weeks and was a little bit out of the rhythm, but these 65 minutes helped him to get back in the rhythm. So he had for example, today's training, he had a better one than maybe last week. It looks like he's getting back into his rhythm, and that's very positive.
Great. And finally from me, could be your 7th successive away win in all competitions. Incredible stuff. I mean, what is your away day routine? Because it's working, Oliver. It's working.
Yes, it's something I never did before. For example, most of the times we travel on match day. Also tomorrow, we go tomorrow morning to Southampton, or before the Fulham game, we meet the evening before in the hotel. But also, we don't have dinner together, so it's optional. But they have a latest report time, so we want to give them also time with their family. I mention it quite often. We're talking so much about football, and we want the players to be focused when they're here. But they also, and we all know this, to focus, you also need your time off because it's not possible to be switched on for 24 hours a day, even with the schedule we have, without having a break for many of our players, especially the international ones. They started in August and had no time off, and then it's important to give them these days to recover. And so, when maybe this is the reason, but it's also I think the belief of the players that we can win everywhere. They know also what really I liked. In the Fulham game is that we didn't get nervous after really struggling at the beginning. So we relied on our quality, on our system, on what we were planning. And even when we know there are some moments in a game that we have to fight for each other, then we fight for each other. And there are moments when we play together, then we play together. And I think this is really this developed over the last months.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Afternoon. After the win against Fulham, you spoke, of course, of the rustiness on the pitch, but you also mentioned that when this Crystal Palace team are compact and stay in shape, lots of opportunities will arise on the pitch, which is what happened. How important do you think that patience is with young players on the pitch, waiting for the opportunity and having that mentally?
And it's what we're always working on, and it's not just about young players, it's about everyone, that knowing what we want to do, and tell the players quite often that when we defend, this is the first way to attack. And so you can't attack without defending, and this is we prepare our attacks even when the opposition has the ball, and they know, everybody looks like that they know what they have to do, and then this gives you confidence that when I do this, my teammate does his job, so everybody is involved in our game, but on the other side, it's so important that everybody does his job, because if one doesn't do it, it drops like a card house.
Of course, the 6 consecutive away wins, but the massive thing there is the clean sheets. A lot of Premier League managers speak about getting that balance right in defence and attack. Has that something that's been really conscious in your philosophy from when you joined, in making sure that, yes, we have all this attacking talent, but if the defence isn't doing its job, there's no point? Is that the key message that you're taking away from these stats? Yes,
I'm always thinking about the defence, because we know that we can score goals from different situations. And if we need a set play, we take a set play, and we're working on this. But as I mentioned, our defensive shape is already our starting for the attack, and the players know. and can see it, and then getting the evidence that when they do their job in the defense, that they get the chance and the opportunities to score in our attack. So when you see the second goal at Fulham, it's Eberechi who wins the ball close to the halfway line. Yeah, and then we have then Ismail Assar, the far 10, great runs in the box, with him and JP switching. One goes near post, one goes far post. Dani Munoz in the box, and Ebbs gets the ball there where we want the players to have and to run. So, but before everybody was in his position, and from this we start our attacks, and that's what we are really working almost every day. This week not so often because we don't have time to train. It's more about recovery, but that's also when we was asking. It just takes time that we get this implemented into the group, into every single player. Maybe we ask them to do something different than they had to do with their former clubs, but we want them to do this for the team especially.
And another game away to Southampton. What sort of tactical battle do you expect at St Mary's Stadium?
To be honest, I don't expect a very tactical game because they are playing, especially when we have the ball, more or less man-to-man defense. I expect many duels, and we talked about it today. It's about winning your duels, because that's even when you sometimes you try to create an overload on one side or whatever, but it doesn't work when you're man-marked, because then it's always equal. And this we have to prepare. They're playing very aggressive. They are, as I mentioned, very physical. But on the other side, this is a strength that they always get pressure on the ball. They always get pressure on the attacking players. But on the other side, if you lose a duel, you can have very quickly an underload. And so that means always risk and chance. And we have to find the right balance in playing and also in going into the last line very quickly. And on the other side, we need to be switched on in defending, because they also have different styles of their attack. Sometimes they go straight from Ramsdale to the striker, and with Onuachu, if he plays again, a very physical player. And sometimes they, especially, they were used to build up every single ball, and then they are very, very good in possession, moving the ball quickly. And also you can see the stats. In many games they have more possession than the opposition, and will be a good challenge for us. But the most important thing is that we find this switch from the cup game and not talking about Aston Villa and thinking about Aston Villa, so really being in the game tomorrow. And then I think it's possible to celebrate the 7th consecutive away win.
Perfect, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.